What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube. I am Mikael, and today I have another story time for you guys. This story time is going to be the one about Bernard after the whole food stamps in the jungle thing. So yeah, stay tuned if you want to hear that story time. So today's story time. While I'm doing my story time, you guys are gonna watch me deep condition my hair because this heat has been drying out my hair, so it's time to deep condition. I had like a blowout. I don't know how I did this in this heat, but luckily for me, it hasn't been that hot. So let's do this. Okay, so after the whole jungle situation happened, I remember I think I said in my other story time that because we ended up going on the food stamps or welfare, that I found out that they give you cash. So I had already thought like, okay, I'm not going to be giving them my money, right? But then we end up like damn near immediately going shopping and all that stuff like that. So I had it in my mind that the next check I was going to do something with it because I wanted to get out of there, because I didn't understand why all these grown-ass people is living under one roof in a one bedroom, and nobody's trying to get a job. And then they using me for freaking food stamps and welfare because I was pregnant. And I just wasn't going to live like that. So after we do the whole shopping thing, we go grocery shopping. That's when his mother, Bernard's mother, was mentioning that she's going to need help with rent. And I said that I understood, but of course I'm thinking in my head, I feel like this is all I'm here for. It's not so that he could be. Well, I didn't necessarily think that Bernard didn't want to be in his child's life, but because of the stuff that he was into and the stuff that he was, look at my nails, y'all. Because of the stuff that he was doing and the stuff that he was into, I knew that it wasn't going to be the way that I needed it to be. It wasn't going to be like a full-time regular dad who has a job, working to take care of his family. I knew it was going to be some type of hood life, and he will be coming in and out of the house, and, oh, I'm down because, I'm pregnant, so I got to sit down, and he was going to go run the streets with some other chick. I knew it was going to be like that. Well, actually, I didn't know because I had never been through anything like that before. But I think I knew to an extent just the way that he already was, just the way that the stuff that we had already been through in our relationship. I knew there was going to be some form of disformity in our relationship. There was going to be some type of disformed family. So I was like, yeah, no. So I ended up mentioning, like, okay, while I'm out there, we should at least do, we should at least go to do a doctor's visit because they give you medical. So I'm ready to plan our doctor's visit. And so, like, I'm asking him, because obviously I didn't have a car. His mother's car. He had his mother's car, and I didn't have a driver's license. So it's not like I could have really took myself. I would have, because it's not like anyways. I would have, but we just wasn't going to do nothing illegal when I was pregnant. I wasn't going to do nothing illegal while I was pregnant. Hell, I wasn't going to do nothing illegal, period. But, so I'm, like, asking him, like, hey, can we plan this, plan that? But he's, like, steady talking about the money, but never about the important things that the money should be used for. But we should do this, or if we get this mountain. And I'm just like, what is with hood niggas and plays? They always got some fucking play. Like, oh, I gotta. But it's never nothing concrete. It's always, I don't know. I feel like they move around too much. Stay your ass still and do something for real. So he's like just constantly talking about all these damn plays, and I started getting aggravated because I'm like, how is any of this more important than us making sure that our child is okay? We didn't even know if he was a boy, a girl, or nothing. Like, I could have complications. This is my first pregnancy. So I wanted to make sure that I was doing things the right way. He just was not going for it. So I ended up because it's like a good week of me getting that money, and then like me trying to talk to him about, you know, we should go see, like, go to a checkup or something, and his freaking family living in the dang, all of us living under one roof, and it got to the point where, like, I was distancing myself from him. Like, I used to be one of those people. Well, I guess I still am, but I do it in a more healthy way. Where if there's conflict in my relationship, I tend to go out and take a walk. I don't like sitting in, like, the space where there's no communication. Like, it's not like I'm just, like, avoiding conflict. It's more like I want to have a resolution to something and I want to talk about it, but that person doesn't want to talk about it. And now we're just expected to sit here in this disgusting space of just thick, intense air. And I hate that shit. I hate it. I've learned to just sit in it, because I think sitting in it lets you know what your relationship actually is like. So even if I'm not leaving, like I'm moving out, I'm done, I'm still running away. I'm still running away because that walk cools me down, and then I come back in a good mood. But the problem is, there ain't nothing good about this. So I kind of let it leave that we've got issues we need to handle, and it didn't go anywhere. So then they arise again, and then I walk again, and they arise again, and then I walk again. So I was doing a lot of that. I was walking a lot. And I think he kind of picked up on the fact that I was doing that. And he kind of started feeling some type of way. So then I would come back from my walks, and then he'd be gone. So it's like it was started to be like he was trying to tit for tat me. But I'm like, this is what I do. Like, it's not like I'm going out to somebody's house. We're in freaking California. I don't know anybody out here any fucking way. So, well, I do know somebody in California, but she lived way too far away for me to be taking a walk to her house. Man, anyways, because if life would have been so different if I got to run away to her. It's an aunt of mine's. But, so, I would start to come back and he'd be gone. And that's when I had decided, I'm finna leave. So I started plotting on leaving. But I wasn't really telling nobody. So, I mean, I wasn't really telling nobody in the house, of course. Well, not of course, because I've made that mistake before. But, well, I made that mistake with him after this situation. How we got back together, don't ask. But, I mean, don't ask. I'm going to tell y'all. But, like, I've gone through that before, where you tell a person you're leaving and it's just not a good idea. It's better to just leave. Privately, secretly, whatever. Especially if you are unsure of how they react to stuff like that. So anyways, I started plotting. Now, I had a little phony phone, but as you could imagine, well, I don't know if anybody's ever lived, like, I know a lot of people lived a thug life, but I mean, anybody saying this, if you ever live a thug life, I don't understand why people want that, because I guess it's supposed to look cool and it's fun and all that, but think about it like this. You're somewhere where there's barely any furniture. It most likely smells like mad weed or alcohol, or at least the furniture's outdated. There's no fucking food. So you're always hungry, and if you drink a lot, you're going to get hungry. If you smoke a lot, you're going to get hungry. But there's never anything to eat. So every time you want to go eat something, you have to have the money to go out and get it. If you don't have the money to go out and get it, you just going to be smacking on some fucking dry noodles or some shit. So imagine living like that, pregnant. I can't drink with everybody. I can't smoke with everybody. But I'm fucking constantly hungry. And then when there is something, everyone's eating it up because they're either drunk or high. And then you take that with the only person I know is the person that I'm with. And now he's always gone. So I took some of that money. I went out for my little walk and I went somewhere that had Wi-Fi. I paid my phone bill. Because like that too. Motherfuckers be living in the hood. Never have a damn... It's always occasionally their phone is never on. Because sometimes you just ain't got it. It's like, that's crazy. And I understand, like, sometimes people live like that because they have no choice. Because they don't make enough money. Or because the rent's too high. Or because they have, like, you know, child care. So I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people who act like they're not choosing to live like that, but they are choosing to live like that because they don't do anything to get out of it. That shit is rough. And I don't understand why people think it's fun. It's not fun. I mean, that's why I said, when you're young, you lie to yourself. Or you get kind of blinded by the times where the money is coming in fast. Or when the relationship is fun and exciting. But once that honeymoon stage is gone, man, I'm tired of sleeping on fucking pallets on the floor. Fuck you in this pallet. But, yeah, so I paid my phone bill. And I called some family. And I was telling them what was going on. And they were like, oh, you need to leave. And I'm just like, I'm trying to figure that out. Like, how the hell do I get out of here? Right? So I'm like every day secretly texting them. And like telling them what's going on. Because at first, I don't know if they really like took it seriously. Like, I mean, at first, I wouldn't even say they didn't take it seriously. It was not like I was just like, hey, I gotta get out of here. Everybody's crazy. I was just kind of like, hey, you know, like reaching out. And they're like, oh, how you been? Not so well, you know. Try to lay it on slowly because I didn't really want to be vulnerable and say that I made a mistake by coming here. Because I kind of thought people would, you know, some COs would look at me and be like, stupid bitch. I thought I was doing the right thing. You know, I understand, like, for other people, it's like, but he's a thug. How is that the right thing? Because if everybody's telling you that, you know, if you don't marry the person that you had children with, then you're a whore kind of thing. Then yeah, you're going to think you're making the right decision by staying with that person. Hell, I think even he had said it sometimes. Not that I was a whore, but like what women who have children and don't be with that person look like. Mind you, this man already had kids, so as you can see, he was trying to mind me. But at that point, I didn't care. I didn't even have him yet. And I was just like, nah, I'm ready to go. This ain't it. Because we had already been through so much before I even knew I was pregnant, that it just wasn't enough. Like, there was so much going on in our relationship that it wasn't enough to be like, you have to end up with the person that you have your first child with. I'm like, nah, y'all trying to set me up for failure. Honestly, that's what I felt like. I felt like everybody kept trying to keep me with him because they wanted me to fail. They knew damn well he wasn't good for me, but they would constantly, oh, he's so good for you. Mind you, none of these people are thugs. None of these people are hood people. So why would you tell me that sticking with a man who's doing winter boy shit try to set me up for failure from the get-go? Because people were not happy when I left him. They did not expect me to leave him and still thrive. Well, shit, still thrive. Thrive better after I left him. But, well, officially, when I officially left him. Well, anytime I left him, honestly. But, so I'm like texting them and I'm just like, hey. But I tried to slowly be like, hey, like things are getting worse. So, not to create panic, because I didn't want it to be like a, you know, DV situation. I wanted it, I mean, it's not that I didn't want it to come off like a DV situation, but I wanted it to be understood that, like, this isn't right for me. This is not healthy. This shit is not okay to be living like this, especially while pregnant. So, yeah, every day I was kind of just, like, slowly texting stuff. I never outright asked anybody to help me leave because, like I said, my pride did not allow me to do that. But I thought maybe if I just, like, say what's going on, then someone would eventually, like, hey, you gotta leave. I don't know why I was seeking validation. I think it's probably obvious why I was seeking validation on why I should leave. But because everyone kept making it seem like every time I'm in a shitty relationship, everyone tells me everything good about the person, even when I'm trying to say, hey, no, this doesn't feel right. And I would seek validation by telling them all the bad stuff that's happening. So someone could say, hey, you should leave that relationship. Because when I was younger, I used to think that, like, I would end up looking like a hoe if I didn't stick with the person that I had children with. Or at least spent a lot of my years with. So I would seek validation by telling people the terrible stuff. Now I realize, don't nobody need to know shit about my goddamn relationship. They don't need to know shit about my business. And it is enough for me. I don't give a fuck what it is. If I say I don't like it, I don't gotta like it. Period. Now I'm not being like, it doesn't fucking matter. Shit, I ain't gotta explain that. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Period. So, but back then, like I said, I had slowly started to lose myself. I don't even know if I ever had myself. I think I was always lost. Looking back, I think I was lost for a long time. Probably since a fucking child. But so I'm seeking validation. I'm like, oh, hey, we're doing this. And this doesn't feel right. And we're doing this. So eventually somebody said, why don't you leave him? Or you should leave him. And I'm like, yeah. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. But I don't have the funds for it. I don't think I have the right amount of funds for it. So me and his family members, like, literally scheming and plotting, like. And then that's when I told them about the welfare thing. And that I was going to try to use that money to leave. I just don't know, like, how or what to do. So they told me about, wait, actually, no, I don't think they even told me. Because I already knew about the Greyhound. That's how I got there. Oh, okay. So no, what I was worried about was that I would come back to Vegas and I would have nowhere to go. Correcto. So I was saying, like, oh, I could just use the money I have to get back on the bus. And, I just don't have nowhere to go. So that's why I was pretty much seeking help, because I didn't have anywhere to go, because the place that we were living in, we had already let it go. So welfare was for sure not giving me enough money to move into a new place out here. Well, let me not say it like that, because Cali, I think, is more expensive. But yeah, I didn't have enough money for that. Or I could have just stayed longer, saved more, and then eventually looked for an apartment. But honestly, I didn't have the confidence in that situation to stay there that long without thinking that I would never be able to leave the longer I stayed. And of course, like, I could have left. But I just mean, like, mentally. With the mental games he was playing with his family, I just felt like if the longer I stayed, the more I would have conformed to whatever it is that they wanted me to be. So I was trying to get out there ASAP. ASAP fucking Rocky. So yeah, they were like, oh no, you can stay with us. So we started scheming and plotting. Flights, what was cheaper, flights or the Greyhound, or a taxi. And that took like a whole 2 weeks to figure that out, to get them to, like, understand the gravity of the situation and not think like I'm just trying to, like, live off of anybody, or not take care of my own. I'm like, hey, I'll move out as soon as possible. I just need to get the fuck out of here. And it was something else, I think, that was holding me back, but I don't remember what it is. Oh yeah, trying to find a job while pregnant, because I was starting to show, and I didn't have the confidence that I'd be able to find a job pregnant. I mean, I wasn't like showing, but I think it was a bit obvious. Not obvious. Well, yeah, it was a bit obvious. So we started scheming, plotting, and scamming. Not literally scheming. Right? So to get something cheap, you kind of have to put it a little far out. Not like far, especially not with the bus. Because I know with planes, you got to plan way ahead if you want to get something cheap. But buses, I think you just kind of have to plan, like, maybe like a few weeks away to get, like, some good deals. So that's why it ended up taking me, like, from start to me getting there and the whole welfare thing and the jungle shit. I think that was a week. And then me realizing, like, I gotta go. I made a mistake for coming here. That was like a week. And then the plotting, scheming, and planning, that was a week. And then the time where I was going to have my grand escape, that was a week. So I was probably there for a good 3-4 weeks. 4 weeks. Why am I saying it like I ain't just added it all up? I was there for a good month. So, my mood, I suppose, was changing. I was very down. I was sad a lot. I got really fucking sick. This nigga had the nerve to tell me, this man had the nerve to tell me when I got sick that he doesn't like me like this. He's like, and I'm like coughing, hacking up. Mind you, everybody in the apartment got sick. But I was the last person to get sick. And here we are, taking care of everybody, concerned for everybody. But the moment I get sick, nobody helped me. Nobody was like, hey, you need any medicine? Nothing. So he was calling himself being helpful, but he was not to me. And then had the nerve to tell me, I don't like you like this. I can't stand people like that. Because just because I can be a happy-go-lucky person, that does not mean I don't have moods and emotions. That does not mean my mood doesn't change. And I think that fucking sucks. Because it makes me, it used to, I don't give a fuck now. It used to make me feel like I'm not allowed to be a human being. Like I'm not allowed to be sad. I'm not allowed to cry. Like I'm not allowed to have emotions, feelings. Like I am a person. Like what the hell? So that depressed the shit out of me. But when the scheming and the scamming came to fruition and it was set in motion, because I didn't tell nobody shit. I ain't hint nothing. And I'm like that type of person. I used to be. I gotta speak past tense. I used to be the type of person who, when I had something good, like I said before, when I had something good going, I'd tell everybody. Or like if I was with a dude and I felt like he was playing me and I was about to leave, I'm like, yeah, I ain't even gotta be here. I do all that shit. Extra as hell. So, but for some reason this time I was just like, nah, don't say anything. Cause I did not want him to fuck this up. And mind you, we had never like had any big fights yet at that time. So I didn't know if he was gonna be violent, but I knew he was a violent person. I didn't know he was gonna be violent to me, but I knew he was a violent person. So I had at least in my right mind to not tell him anything. However, my mood did change. So I'm pretty sure I was all skipping when I walked. I was happy. But I didn't know how to contain my happiness. Like, I'm not saying I was happy, like, woo, I can't wait. But I was definitely in a lot better mood. I wasn't down, I wasn't crying, I wasn't sick. So I think he knew something was up. Shit, am I sick now? God damn. So I think he knew something was up, right? Because for some reason, he just started being like fucking weird. He was already weird. But I just mean that kind of tit for tat. Like his way of getting back at me was tit for tatting. If he felt like I was happy, then he would pretend like he's happy about something. And I could be like, what you happy about? Oh, nothing. And it's like, okay. So, I think he thought something was up, so he would just randomly start saying things. Well, I don't want to say he just started randomly saying things, but he would just kind of randomly be saying, like, weird shit. Like, nothing could have happened, but he'll be like, I just love when motherfuckers think, they can hide shit from me. And I'd be like, because I'm like, there's no way he would know. It's not like I'm, like, away from my phone. It ain't like he's taking it. It's not like he's went through it, at least that I know of. So I'm just like, why the fuck is he randomly saying that weird-ass shit? But he would just keep saying shit like that. Like, throughout the day. Mind you, he's being distant and everything. So I'm just like, what does he know? I didn't know what he knew. Or even if he knew anything. Right, so. Oh, shit. I just splattered that everywhere. Right, so, mind you, I'm not knowing what's going on, but And I'm not like acting scary about it because I'm not really assuming that he's talking about me because I just don't see how he would have known. But he's just still like saying weird shit. But he's still saying weird shit, right? And then at some point, then his mom started saying weird shit. So I'd just be sitting on the couch, right? And his mother, for some reason, decided to say, what did she say? She said something like, I don't be fucking my son. And I'm like, what? She's like, I don't know if you be thinking that because his baby mama used to say that I be fucking on my son. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm dead ass out of nowhere. And because I'm literally just sitting on the couch watching TV with her. And she says that. And I'm like, well, I don't think that. So what does that have to do with me? And then another time, she says, what did she say? Oh, she said, she was just start randomly saying that his baby mother is pregnant. And I'm like, I can't wait the fuck to leave. Y'all niggas is weird. Like, they would randomly just say, like, really fucking off the wall, harsh stuff that no one asked. I didn't ask what? I didn't ask, I didn't hint that them two had a inappropriate relationship. I didn't even know who the baby mama was at that time. Or where she was, or why she was. So I'm just like, okay. Like, I don't know if they wanted me to, like, freak out or flip or... Because at this point, like, maybe y'all want me to leave and y'all just saying weird shit to get me to want to leave. Without knowing that, nigga, I want to leave too. I don't know. I don't know why they were just randomly start saying this weird shit. Well, he said it as if he had animosity. So there's huge chance he already knew what I was doing. I just didn't know how he would know that. So I wasn't really, like, trying to think about it too hard. I just didn't want him to ruin my fucking plans. And with her, though, I'm just like, I'm confused. Like, why do you keep saying weird ass shit? So, the day of, or was it the day before? The day before, I was supposed to get on the bus to go. I'm in the room, and I'm on the air mattress pallet thingy. And he comes in there with this smirk. And he sits on, like, the edge of this pallet thingy. And he's like, so what you about to do? And I'm like, what, like, about what? Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, is there anything you want to tell me? And I'm like, is there anything you want to tell me? Because when people find out that I'm lying about something, to me, at that point, if I know that you know, then just say it. Because if I find out you lying about something, I'm just going to say it. I'm not about to play mind games. I don't have time for that shit. I don't know. Like I said, when I feel like I'm getting scared of something, I immediately go into, like, masculine. So it ends up coming off like I'm not scared at all. Sometimes it even feels like I'm not scared at all. Even though afterwards I'll be like, oh. So I'm just like, say what you mean. He's like, I went through your phone. And I saw that you was talking to your people and that you was leaving. So I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving. And he like, yeah, that's right. Lying and shit, something like that. And I'm like, honestly, like, let's be fucking for real. We're in a fucking 1-bedroom, roach-infested apartment with 5 grown-ass people and 2 kids. What are we doing? Where are we going? Where's our next apartment at? Like, be fucking for real. So I'm looking at him, like, I'm saying that, but I'm like, bro, we don't have nothing planned. You have nothing planned. We're not doing anything. We're just fucking scamming. And he was like, what did he say? So you wasn't even gonna tell me? And I'm like, honestly, the way that you react over fucking haircuts. This nigga punched a whole man in the fucking face because the dude fucked up his haircut. Not even punched the man in the face. He was beating the fuck out of this man. And I'm like, honestly, you don't have the best fucking conversation skills. You just jump straight to doing weird ass shit. So no, I don't want to fucking talk to you. I'd rather just go. And I damn sure don't want to be stopped. So he had the nerve to start bringing up this baby mother. Someone, at that point, he had rarely talked about her. Outside of just like, they didn't work. And, they didn't work out. So, he didn't really ever talk about her. So now he starts with this like bragging, well, my baby mama does this and my baby mama does that. And I'm like, so why the fuck you ain't bring her to California? Like I said, when I get to a point where I'm like done with something, like to the point of disgust, to the point that I'm cold, to the point where I'm just being blunt as hell, there's nothing that you can say. He can say that I sucked another nigga's. I don't give a fuck. You're not about to shock me. Because at that point, I don't know. I don't explain it. But when I get to that point, there's nothing anyone... You could pull out a fucking machete and tell me you're going to chop my head off and shit down my throat. I promise you, I'm probably going to look like this. Okay? Well, let's get started. Because at that point, I don't know. That's why I say I feel like if I ever had my last words, it's going to be, oh, fuck. So he's like, I guess he was trying to look for some shock value. So he's just saying like, yeah, because my baby mama got all this money and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going out there. I was like, okay. I'm still leaving though. I'm definitely still leaving. I don't give a fuck if you leave because I'm going to AZ and my baby mama. Yeah, so I'm not gonna interfere with your plans, but I need $100. So this rich bitch baby mama couldn't have spotted you $100 to get to her. It's a lot of money. That's a lot of... You need welfare, queen. Cool. I slid him the cool $100. I know somebody thinking, why the fuck would you do that? Because I didn't want him to interfere with my plans. I meant it. I'm leaving, period. I will leave kicking and fucking screaming. And also, though, I think sometimes the best way to get out of some things that seems like it could go really bad is to pretend to be scared. Like, at some point, you're just going to have to. If it gets to a point where it seems so violent. Like a play dead kind of a thing. Because, I mean, some people will probably fight to the death. I don't know. But my whole thing is, if me and him start beefing, right? We start fighting. I lose my child. And then I'm stuck in California. Because if it got to that point, then there's most likely no way he would even let me leave. Is this worth dying for? Fuck no. What? Hell no. I'm not dying in California. No offense. No offense to anybody out there that's from California. But I ain't fucking dying in California. California is probably one of the least places I've ever wanted to live. If I'm being honest. California, Arizona, Florida. I would never live there. Never. I would never live in those three places. Probably California, Arizona, Florida, New Mexico, and Atlanta. Sorry. But fuck no. I would never live there. Oh, God. I don't even think I'd visit. I'd visit California again. But, like, what would be the point of visiting New Mexico? If I'm living in Vegas, what would be the point of visiting Arizona? Unless you go to that lake in between that I went jet skiing at. But, like, I live in Vegas. Why the fuck would I go to Arizona or New Mexico? Atlanta seemed like everybody doing whatever the fuck. It's like everybody's doing whatever the fuck, and then the people that live there don't want the people that are doing whatever the fuck to even be there, which is exactly how I feel about Vegas. I know everybody makes that, like, we're tired of people from California moving to Vegas. I don't think people understand, though, if there is a set culture somewhere, people who move in then bring their cultures, which, I mean, not their cultures, but how they are in their place. So if their place is going to shit and then they want to move to where you're at, then they're going to make your place go to shit. Because sometimes it works out like that. It feels very gentrification-y. Like, why come to... My thing is, why come to a gun state if you don't like guns? To make it not a gun state, which will turn it into the place that you no longer like. But I think California is beautiful. And it's not about the whole guns things or the Californians. I like seasons. And I know I'm not getting that from Vegas, which is why I will not be living in Vegas forever. And then when I move out of Vegas, it's going to be California, Arizona, Vegas. Let me stop. I don't like Las Vegas. I mean, I think Las Vegas could be very fun, but I just don't like Las Vegas. If anything, I'd visit it to visit family. But I don't think I could ever see myself moving back to Vegas once I leave. Ever. But, yeah, so he's just going off about, like, this rich bitch baby mama who can't give him $100. I'm not even saying that she don't got money. I'm saying, why are you bragging about her to me as if I'm this broke bitch that you asked to do this shit? Because I would have never done it had he not asked. Just to have to ask me for money so you could go see a rich bitch. And like I say, honestly, I think he was just trying to throw it at me for shock value. I'm pretty sure he did actually go. But I mean, throwing it like that at me for shock value. And I just wasn't giving a fuck. Because at the end of the day got a motherfucking end. I didn't care. Like, I think it hurt, right? Because you're with that person and you're pregnant with this person's child. And this person is willing to stoop to fucking crabs in the barrel ass levels. I don't give a fuck. Crab in the barrel ass motherfucking levels. And it's like, damn, this person's DNA is going to be in my child. This person's DNA is in... I'm creating a human being with this person's weird ass fucking... His whole lineage is probably fucking grimy. What? And it's like, I don't know, when you realize who you've had children with, it's like, what the fuck? Who are you? Like, why would I do this shit to myself? Wouldn't take it back. Because like I said, I don't think I would be who I am if it wasn't for me fucking surviving. Surviving Bernard. Fucking surviving Richard. But, no, dead ass though. So, yeah. So I'm just like, here you go. Because I didn't need it. I was already planning on getting a job when I got back. Like, I really didn't care. I promise you that $100 was worth it. I paid for my fucking freedom, and it was only $100. So, he's like, got this smirk or whatever. Like, he hustled me. Like, dead ass. He got this, like, yeah, bitch. Like, yeah, little bitch. I got that money. $100 fucking dollars? So, I'm just like, I dead ass. I mean, I didn't even cry, but I'm, like, trying to be, like, he walks out the room, and I'm like, fuck, yeah. Come back in the room. So I'm dead ass doing that shit. Like, yeah, he came in here, but I gave him some money so he could leave me alone. He's back here. Yeah, so yeah, and you said the bus come at what time? Cause y'all sending a taxi right now. Oh, right. But I'm like praying to the gods that he leaves it at that. Cause I didn't know if he was just gonna try to do some weird shit right at the very fucking end or while I'm asleep. Cause I had to do one more night there, and I was leaving in the morning. So I'm just like trying to be like all fucking day, right? And you could tell he was eating that shit up. He's like, yeah, bitch. He wasn't saying that, but he was eating that shit up. Right? So I'm thinking he left. That night, he leaves. I'm thinking he left. So I'm like, whew. I'm saying bye to the family. Yeah, I love y'all. What the fuck? Get out of here. It comes to the daytime. I pack my shit. And I'm like, to the kids. I'm like giving them hugs. I'm like, okay, bye. Like, that's the only people I gave a fuck about actually saying goodbye to. And they're like saying goodbye to me as I'm like about to get in this taxi. Guess who the fuck pulled up? I'm like, fuck. So I'm seeing this nigga. I don't even know what he pulled up in. I think it was his mother's car. Pulls back up behind the taxi. And I'm like saying in my head, like, please, God, please, God, please, don't let this man stop me. I was like fucking low-key panicking. Like, if this nigga, please leave me alone. So he's like coming up. I know you ain't think I wasn't gonna say goodbye. And I'm like, yeah, I thought you wasn't. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I don't give a fuck. So I'm like, oh yeah, no, I thought you was just gonna leave. Why? Don't do hood shit. So I'm just like, oh yeah, no, I thought you was just leaving. And he's like, no, of course I'm gonna say goodbye. I was just a little upset because I don't understand why you didn't. Now he's starting to go on this spew. I'm like, if this taxi pulls off, I'm gonna cut you, nigga. Yeah, no, I didn't understand why you couldn't tell me. And I'm like, bro, because you didn't even want to you don't even want to make sure the child is okay. But I was not about to go off. I was just like, yeah, I just feel like we need to do more for our child than what we're doing here. Yeah, so when you touch down, just let me know, and like, you know, we can do what we gotta do. We gonna do what we gotta do. I'm going out to AZ to flip this, flip that, flip. Bitch, I thought you was going to see your stanky ass, rich ass baby mama. Flip what? Her cash? Oh. No. But because I still ended up back with him after that. But then I'm going to get into it. But then that's when I found out he was not even trying to do. He started doing, that's what he was going to AZ for. To start doing girlfriend for hire stuff. And that's when we officially, but that story is fucking wild. So I'm just like, yeah, okay. You go ahead and you flip that. You flip that there. Yeah, But I'm like trying to like fucking, I'm holding it like the taxi door. Like, please don't pull off. Please don't pull off. Okay, we're running that meter up. We gotta go. When I closed that taxi door, I felt like so calm. I felt so at peace. I felt okay. I felt all fucking right for a time. I did. I ended up coming back to Vegas. I ended up finding a job. But I had like this blouse. I would wear like clothes that made it look like I was just like a little overweight, not pregnant. So to this day, I don't think they know. I don't think they know that I was pregnant. So I got the fuck out of there ASAP. Got me a little job. But that's when I was working for a time, and that's when he proposed us getting an apartment together again. And I ended up going for it. Because it had been a while. Like, that's my problem. That used to be. My problem was, like I said, I feel like when I'm healing or I'm doing better, because I'm telling the person that, oh yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, they're just mirroring me. Like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that too. And so I think that they're different also. And this is why I've learned, if people are healing, like if I'm at a point where like I've already done this, and they're like, hey, have you? And I don't mind telling them because I've already done it. Still don't be saying shit. But to an extent, it's like, oh yeah, I'm doing fine, I'm doing great. So they go, oh, I'm doing fine, I'm doing great too. Okay, that sounds nice. Congratulations. But sometimes I feel like they're expecting me to be like, oh my God, we should get back together because we're healed. No, fuck no. And I used to do that dumbass shit. I can't stand that shit. Because then when you get back with them, you're going to see everything for what it is. They can't pretend. They can't lie. There's not just a couple of fucking text messages that they just worked out today and they drank all their water and they got all their steps in, and you gonna see it. And it's like, oh fuck, you haven't changed at all. You're not doing anything. You're doing the exact same stuff. Don't get back with exes. I know that cliche ass term. They call them exes for a reason. But no. It sounds so cliche, but it's so serious. There was something about them that you couldn't mesh with, and you had to let them go. So let them go. If you think that they're better now, wish them well. They'll meet their person. If you feel some type of way about them meeting their person, you ain't healed. So go heal, honey. Because when you heal, you're not going to be thinking about them. You're not going to be wanting, let me not say that. It's not that simple. But you're going to at least see the dynamic for what it is, and you're going to remember who you became in that dynamic, and you're going to remind yourself, this is why I'm not doing this. This is why I'm not going back to that. So I'm not going to say it's easy, but it is very helpful. It is very helpful to look at it like they are exes for a reason. Don't fucking forget that. Do not get back with them. Anyway, that's it for this story time. That is it for this story time. Thank you for being with me while I deep condition my hair. And I'll see you guys in the next story time.